Good evening and welcome back to Mad Horse Barbecue. My name is Brian. I don't know why, but sometimes I just like pointing at myself and like really like, my name is Brian. But anyways, my name is Brian, and in today's video, we're gonna be doing a three-year review on my Pits and Spits Maverick 1250 pellet grill. It's just gonna be a pellet grill review video. I'm gonna show you the inside, what it looks like after 3 years. I'm gonna go over some of the stuff that I've had issues with, even though I will say right off the bat with this Pits and Spits, I won't say it's issues that directly are just with Pits and Spits pellet grills, but the issues I've had with this pellet grill is the same one I've had with all others, and the same ones you can kind of expect right off the bat. I'll go over. In 3 years, I've gone through 2 igniter rods. I can tell you right now, I've used this thing probably, I don't know, if I had to guess, I'd say 200 plus times. I've probably used this thing in 3 years, probably even more than that. But to me, that's kind of normal wear and tear. You know, the igniter rod, you know, it's electricity that powers that thing. And I've said it before in a video, heat is the #1 cause of failure in electrical components. So I've gone through 2 of those. And then right when I got it in the first day, there's a little plug back here on the rear. I'll bring you in and show you that a little later. But that plug was bad, so when I plugged it in, it read like 350. So I just cut the plug out, tied them together with my fingers, put some tape on it, and it's been riding like that ever since. But you know, besides that, that's really the only issues I've had with this pellet grill. So I really don't have any complaints. The one thing I do think though, I think pretty much all pellet grill manufacturers should probably just include like a hot rod and the fuse for that hot rod when you buy a grill. I mean, you're spending anywhere from probably $300 to $4,000 on a pellet grill. So I mean, you know, there should be some, you know, some maintenance parts that come along with it. But again, one tip I can give you is when you buy a pellet grill, whether it be a Pits and Spits or say like a Green Mountain grill, if you can buy it from a dealer, I highly recommend you buy it from a dealer, because when you buy it from a dealer, you go through them for the warranty and you don't go through the manufacturer. With that being said, I've vocalized my issues I've had with all 3 of my GMGs. The one thing I didn't have issue with the GMG is their customer service. Their customer service was absolutely fantastic. They got me all the parts I need. I just have horrible luck with the Green Mountain grills, and I don't think I'll ever buy one again. But anyways, back to the review of this video. I'm gonna take you in, I'm gonna show you the innards. I did just vacuum this thing up, but I'm gonna kind of show you what this thing looks like after 3 years. I by no means clean these grills ecstatically. I never have. The stainless steel lid is cool. I think black would be even cooler, because the stainless steel lid does look cool if you keep it cleaner, which I kind of tend to take a rag to it every once in a while. But you know, like I said, it's nothing extensive. So let me take you in, I'll show you what the inside looks like, and then I don't know, we'll just go from there. All right, obviously the cool thing about this Pits and Spits is it's got 2 pull-out grates. It's got the expanded metal grates. You know, I've seen other expanded metal grates and I don't like them because because it's just, you know, the openings are so big. But these ones I actually really like. They're really easy to clean. The best way I find to clean them is just get your grill hot, and then I just have a welding brush. I've owned this welding brush since I bought this grill, and every once in a while I'll just clean the grates off, you know, before I cook on it. So it's obviously we got the 2 grates here, 1. And then the upper rack 2. I rarely ever cook with the upper rack in. I don't need it. And then we got our drip pan here. I used to be team foil, but probably for the last 2 or 3 years, I'm not. I got tired of changing it all the time, and I just think that, you know, foil on, foil off, as long as you take a scraper to this every 2 or 3 cooks, you know, the food comes out tasting the same exact way. For those of you who are OCD about, you know, keeping this part of your grill clean, I do highly recommend you buy, you know, get some aluminum foil, get some heavy duty aluminum foil, and just put foil on it and change that foil out when it gets too dirty. I think Traeger and Green Mountain Grill make the drip pan covers. They're cool. It's just, I'll just say it depends on what you want to spend your money on. So here's my drip pan after 3 years. I do have the trapdoor drip pan, and I can tell you right now, I don't know where the hell it is. In my personal opinion, you know, if I'm gonna fire up this Pits and Spits, I'm not firing this Pits and Spits up, you know, to necessarily grill. I'll do some like chicken wings at like 350, or I might crank it up to 400 for like the last 10 minutes of the cook. But I'm not gonna fire this thing up to cook some, you know, inch thick ribeyes. I just don't see the point in it. I have 24, 25 other grills, plenty of charcoal grills. I have a propane grill. I just think it's super inefficient to fire this grill up to sear steaks. So hence the reason why I don't know where that trapdoor drip pan is. Even though with the trapdoor drip pan, the concept behind there, pull the drip, you know, you pull the trapdoor off, then you have direct access to your fire pot. If I'm gonna grill a steak or I'm gonna want to sear on something, I'm probably gonna go grab the PK, because it's way easier and it turns out a way better product in my opinion. All right, getting back to the inside of the grill. This part right here, this is your heat deflector. I will say, I've had heat deflectors on certain models of pellet grills warp in the past. This is the original heat deflector from here. You can probably see this is probably 1/8 inch thick steel or 1/8 inch thick metal. I don't think this part's stainless just because of the sheer weight of it. But this has not, and I'm gonna almost guarantee you will not ever warp. One thing that's unique about, you know, the pits and spits is you know, some of these drip pans have like notches on it. The pits and spits does not, but you can obviously see that I have found my sweet spot where I need to stop it way back in the day when I was doing temp testing and stuff, because, you know, you can't move the, you know, the deflector to the left. I'll show you. I mean, you can move it to the left, you can move it to the right. Way back in the day when I first got this thing, I did a lot of experimenting with getting my temps going even across the board. And right where you see that drip pan mark stop, right there is where I keep that drip pan. And then we just got the inside of the pellet grill. I have never done anything to the inside of this pellet grill except for vacuuming it out. I know some people talk about, you know, running some water in here. To me, I'm gonna try to keep water as far away as from this thing as possible. With that being said, I have cooked out in the snow of this before, but I'm just not gonna willingly put water on the inside of this grill to clean it. You can see there's my temp probe. Again, I have never touched that thing. I've never cleaned it, and it's always just operated 100% perfect. This was the, that's where that plastic plug was I was telling you about. And basically what I did, this is the original aluminum foil from 3 years ago, but I cut the plastic plug out and then I just wire tied it together with my fingers, hit it, and then put some electrical tape around each wire individually. And then I put the aluminum foil on it to do, well, I mean, it kind of waterproofed it in a way, but you can kind of see, you can see red. But I have cooked with this thing out in the snow and out in the rain, and with this foil on it, it keeps the electrical connections it keeps the electrical connections from getting wet. So we got our pellet hopper here. Not much. I mean, this is just your regular pellet hopper. It's a 35-pound pellet hopper. Pretty sure I fit 40 pounds of pellets in here. It's just kind of be careful when you get closer to the top, because you will spill them out. I mean, it's a pellet hopper, you know. It's what's cool about the pits and spits one is that it does have a higher capacity, so you can fill this thing up, and you can probably run this thing for, I'd say, 24 hours at 225 if I had to guess, but I've never cooked anything that long. Kind of been on a hot and fast kick lately, so I don't know if I will. And then you can see that antenna poking out of the side right there. Original controller on there, but you see the antenna. And basically, for those of you, I mean, you see that antenna, for those of you who know what that is, that's obviously Wi-Fi. When I purchased this pits and spits, I got the Wi-Fi upgrade with it. You know, I just had to drill a hole in it and I had to put it in myself, which I kind of like power tools, so it wasn't that big of a deal. Don't ever use it. Wi-Fi is one of those things to where I think on grills, I think it's a really neat feature, but the more that I have owned and operated things, grills with Wi-Fi on them, not that they don't work, they work just fine. I just don't see a reason to use it. I'm never starting this thing up and going more than 20 minutes away from home. And if I'm in the house, I'd much rather just put my third party like ThermalWorks Smoke X4 in there to monitor my meat, or my Meter Plus, one of those two things. But I'm not, the Wi-Fi thing's cool, but if I can count on one hand the amount of times I wanted to adjust the temp of my grill when I wasn't at home. So that'd be the main reason for the Wi-Fi, because you can control the temp of your grill when you're not around. I don't see a need for it, but if you want Wi-Fi, if you think you want Wi-Fi, get the Wi-Fi, because if you don't, I can guarantee you, you'll probably regret it. And just bringing you inside one quick last time here, you can see that little nub sticking out right there. That would be your hot rod. I do have a video on how to do that. I am not going to link it, because in that video, I take the entire hopper off. You don't have to do that. You know, this thing's pretty super easy to take out. You just have to pop off the bottom panel on that, use some electrical tape and fish it through. That's about it for the inside of this grill. So let's go ahead, I'm gonna put it back together, put my heat deflector on till my little mark is where I want it. Drip pan goes on. This is another thing too. I should mention that this drip pan, I've had drip pans on pretty much every other model of pellet grill warp before. This thing is, again, this is like 1/8 inch, you know, it's like 1/8 inch, sometimes words are hard. It's like 1/8 inch thick steel. You know, I don't know the gauge, I'm not smart like that. But like I said, this thing, been using it for, since I had this grill, and it's never once warped. It goes on there straight every time. One corner doesn't sit up higher than another corner. So that's another nice part about the pits and spits. And since we're out here, it is becoming spring now, but if there is one accessory I would buy for this, and one accessory only, it would be this cold weather cover here, this cold weather color by Pits and Spits. I have had since they made it, because I believe when they first made this, they didn't have the cold weather cover yet. But now that I do have it, I love it. It goes on like every year around October, and then it comes off around this time of the year every year. And you know, you don't need it. I know the newer ones, I think it's like a one size fits all. I was fortunate enough to get this this style cover when they made it. It's just specifically for the 1250. But again, you know, the cover just goes right on, and you know, this helps a lot with pellet consumption, and you know, it also helps out with evening temps. Not that you really need help, or I should say, not that you need help evening out temps on this at all, just because of the fact that I've done plenty of temp tests on, excuse me, burped right there. I've done plenty of temp tests on this before in the past, left to right, top to bottom. We're talking a minimal, you know, probably plus or minus 5 degrees across the board, top to bottom, which is highly, highly impressive with the Pits and Spits. You know, that being said, you know, I think that cold weather cover is well worth the money, but you got to think too, I live in Southwest Minnesota. It gets below freezing here pretty regularly for about 3 to 4 months a year. So to me, that, you know, just from a pellet consumption standpoint is really nice. And also, you know, this lid is stainless, so the lid isn't very thick. So that, you know, that heat blanket does help with maintaining better temps. But yeah, you know, when it comes to a pellet grill, if you're like me, you know, you'll start, you know, price, buying something a little cheaper and then working your way up. If a pellet grill is something you absolutely know you want, there's not a question in your mind, the one thing I'll say is buy once, cry once. If I would have known when I bought my first pellet grill that 3-4 grills later I'd buy this one, I just would have probably bought this one right off the bat, been happy with it. I can tell you right now, I will never sell this unless I upgrade to the 2000, because there is one thing I regret, and I regretted not buying the 2000, but that's neither here nor there. The 1250 suits me just fine. Just, you know, a bigger grill is, well, shoot, I mean, you know, it's, you know, it's pretty cool. So, you know, when it comes to the concept of a pellet grill, they are all the same. You know, that it all takes pellets. You know, they all have to have a heat source. So obviously that's where the pellets come. You know, you can put different flavors of pellets in there, but what it boils down to with a pellet grill is just how much money that you want to spend. So now besides that, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. You know, not really cooking today, but I've had a few people inquire about, you know, how long I've had this for, and I just figured, you know, it's probably time to do a 3-year review. If I am thinking correctly, this might be the original Pits and Spits that was ever sold in Minnesota. My dealer, sounds like drug dealer, but the Pits and Spits dealer I bought it from, his name's Kevin Matthews. He's up towards the Minneapolis area in Minnesota, so it's kind of a hike from here, but I bought it from him, and if I ever have parts go bad, I contact him, and easy squeezy, I got that part. So, but it doesn't happen all that often, so that much I will say with this Pits and Spits. And now besides that, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. Hope this video was helpful and informative. If you're thinking about buying a Pits and Spits, tell them that Mad Horse Barbecue sent you. I am not by any way, shape, or means affiliated by him. I just think that you know, you're gonna get a hell of a grill when you buy a Pits and Spits, and there's plenty of other good pellet grill brands around there that I haven't used. But you know, my favorite as of right now would be my Pits and Spits. So besides that, I'm gonna go ahead and sign off. You guys and girls have a good day. Thank you for watching. See you next time.